What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. Today we're going to be discussing about Duke Devlin being added into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, what his potential event is going to be looking like, and what his potential card rewards are going to be looking like when he is added into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. If you guys are excited for today's video, be sure to go hit that like button down below, or throughout the video at any point if you enjoyed. Be sure to go hit that like button, and then same thing goes with the subscribing to the channel. Just whenever you feel like it, guys, be sure to go hit that subscribe down below so you get notified when I make new videos like this. So let's go dive into Duke Devlin, and I'm going to show you guys how Duke Devlin is going to be confirmed into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Now, straight before we get onto it, the artwork that you guys seen in the thumbnail and in the throughout the video and all that stuff, it is not official artwork for Duke Devlin. Basically, this person on Twitter, I'll pop their name up on screen since I'm not going to even try to pronounce that because I'm going to butcher it like crazy. But this artist makes some really cool Duel Links concept art and just all sorts of other anime related art. And they do a really good job with it. I feel like this person's definitely underrated. Be sure to go check out their Twitter and all that stuff, because that's where I found this Duke Devlin artwork. Nonetheless, though, let me show you guys how Duke Devlin is going to be confirmed in Duel Links. So basically how Duke Devlin is going to be confirmed in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links simply goes like this. So in the previous update that we just got, with the Jesse Anderson event being added into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, along with that update where we were getting that event again, Konami put in all of the update stuff for Tristan Taylor, his event and character, etc. Now, he got all of his voice lines recorded, and they're now in Duel Links, and basically we took a listen into all of his audio files, and this one audio file right here that we're going to take a look at. Huge shout out to, I think it's Justin or whatever. I'm going to have to pop up their channel, post-editing, because I forgot their name or whatever. I'm sorry about that, but seriously, go check out this video. They did a really good job of just getting all the voice lines together and for Tristan Taylor. But there's one voice line that's extremely important that we're going to talk about, and it is this right here. Let's go take a quick listen to this.
Too bad, Duke. You're just not ready for me.
So yeah, Tristan in Duel Links, this is the voice line for Duel Links, and it straight up says, Tristan's like, Duke, you ain't ready for me. That's really interesting right there, because that is basically confirming Duke Devlin being added into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links at some point. Now, he's not going to be here now. That's literally all we have for Duke Devlin, and we have no clue when he's going to be added. But due to this, we're going to assume that it's going to be added in hopefully a month or two after the Tristan Taylor event. And I mean, come on, it's almost been 2 years now since Duel Links has released, and a character like Duke Devlin has been added, I don't know, man. So yeah. Now, the rest of this video, like I said at the start, is going to be just diving into potential card rewards and how his event is going to be going. This is not confirmed. None of this is true, but it's most likely, it's going to be the most likely options for this Duke Devlin card rewards and event. So let's just dive onto it real quick. So this first card that I'm going to be talking about is going to be Duke Devlin's most likely ace monster card that he's going to play. And I wouldn't mind this card having a summoning animation of some sort, because the artwork doesn't look that bad at all. It's pretty cool. Let's go talk about this card. So this card is called Oragoth the Relentless. This is a 7-star Earth Warrior, 2500 attack, 2450 defense, with the effect, once per turn you can roll a 6-sided die 3 times and have this card gain attack and defense equal to the total roll times 100 till the end of the opponent's turn. Then, if exactly the 2 results were the same, apply the appropriate effect. If all 3 results were the same, apply all of these effects. Okay. So if you get a 1 or a 2, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect at the end of the opponent's turn. 3 or 4, draw 2 cards. 5 or 6, this turn this card can attack directly. Wow. Okay, so let's go talk about this card, because this is literally going to be his ace monster. It's not confirmed, but it most likely is. Wow, this card is pretty interesting right here. So yeah, once per turn you roll a 6-sided die 3 times. Now, you only get certain effects if 2 of them are the same. So basically, if you roll the 6-sided dice 3 times, you get 2 2s in the same 3 times, right? You can activate this card, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect, okay? If you roll, if you get 3 2s, so if you roll the dice, you get a 2, you roll the second dice, you get a 2, and you roll the third dice, you get a 2, all of his effects get added. And then if you roll a 1, a roll 2 or roll 3, you don't get any of the effects added, but this card does gain attack. Still, that is really interesting. So yeah, if you only get the 1 or 2 if you roll 2 1s or you roll 2 2s. You get the 3 or 4 if you roll 2 3s, roll 2 4s, and then if you roll 2 5s or roll 2 6 dice, then you get that last effect on the screen right there. So yeah, this card is definitely really interesting. This card actually doesn't seem that bad at all. It is a warrior, so it can combo with that sort of stuff, but this card could just be devastating in a duel. That is for sure. So that card's really cool. Next card that's going to be a potential reward card for Duke Devlin is Dice Jar, a 3-star light rock with the effect. Both players roll a 6-sided die. The player with the lower result takes damage equal to the opponent's roll times 500. However, if the winner rolled a 6, the loser takes 6,000 damage. If the rolls are the same, both players roll again. Wow, okay. I don't know if this card would be added into Duel Links, but it's like a dice-related card, so I wanted to talk about it. But, like, I don't think that would be added, because, like, I kind of did some research for Duke Devlin, and I kind of searched up, like, cards that he played in, like, the different video games that he was featured in the anime and stuff like that. And Dice Jar came up as one of the cards that he used in, I think, Yu-Gi-Oh! Millennium Duels. Yeah, I don't know if Dice Jar would be added to Duel Links, but that would be funny. And the last card that we're going to talk about is actually already in Duel Links, or not in Duel Links as the day I'm recording this, but it's going to be in the next box. But yeah, Strike Ninja. Strike Ninja was Duke's Devlin's, what is it called? It was his, let me go, hold up. Where was it? It was in Deckmaster. Okay, I forgot. I think it was like season 4? Not season 4. I think it was season 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's basically when the characters went into the virtual reality arc. And they gotta choose like a deck master or whatever. Duke chose Strike Ninja as his deck master. So yeah, Strike Ninja, gonna be added into Duel Links, but I guess we could talk about him. It's a dark 4-star warrior with the effect. Once per turn during your player's turn, you can banish 2 dark monsters from your graveyard, banish this card to the end phase. Plus controls face-up card to activate into results. Effect 1700 attack, total defense. Nothing too crazy right here. It's gonna be a rare card in the box that we're gonna be getting soon. But yeah, Strike Ninja, hey, he's here. What's up? And that's kind of it. Those are kind of like 3 cards that he could potentially be added. Other than that, Konami's probably just going to have some other like dice-related cards for Duke Devlin. But those are just 3 cards that I kind of thought of and did a little bit of research on what he could be having. But still, that Orogoth of the Relentless seems crazy, and that would be a super cool ace card for Duke. I could definitely see that card being played into Duel Links if he got something like that. Now we're going to be talking about... Oh, wait. Before we switch on to the next thing, I do want to talk about this last thing. Here's a field spell that Duke Devlin used in the anime, and it's called Dice Dungeon. During the battle phase, each player selects a face-up attack to your monster they control. Each player rolls 6-sided dice. You also select the monster in the field, gains the following effect according to the result. If you roll 1, your monster loses 1,000 attack. 2, your monster gains 1,000 attack. 3, your monster's attack becomes 0. 4, your monster's attack becomes 2,000. 5, your monster attacks is halved. Or 6, your monster's attack is doubled. This card would be really cool. It feels like a skill for Duke Devlin. When his event comes out, Dice Dungeon would be really cool. This is also another card that has not been translated to the TCG, so not too sure if it would be added, and I think it was only used in the anime, but still, it would be super cool to have a skill for Dice Dungeon, so there's that. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about is his event, and we're going to base it off of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters game. Now, yeah, so I think what would be really cool for Duke Devlin and for his event is simply if we had a whole new way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, this is both going to be like the least likely thing to happen, simply because making a whole new way to play Duel Links, I don't know if Konami would do that. To be honest, because they haven't really done special duels and Duel Links in a long time, but it would be insane to have a Dice Dungeon Monsters sort of Duel Links way with Duke Devlin being added into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. That would be absolutely insane. I mean, we already have, we played events where you rolled dice before, the Battle City Chronicle events, or just the Duelist Chronicle events. You use dice to navigate around the board. So we already have dice in Duel Links that we used them before. And we have like dice-related cards in Duel Links, of course. But it would be super cool to have some sort of Dungeon Dice Monsters event specifically for Duke Devlin. That would be an awesome, fresh, way to play Duel Links. It would be super cool. Now, I do want to give you guys a little basis on the Game Boy Advance version of Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters. I'm just going to read you guys how the gameplay works from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki website. And I'm just going to kind of just like read this all to you so you guys can kind of get an idea on how they could potentially do it in Duel Links. So let's just go with it. So the gameplay of this, it's the central part of the Dungeon Dice Monsters is obviously the dice. Each player has 15 6-sided dice. There's 6 symbols on each dice called Crest. A player rolls 3 dice each turn from the Crest rolls, and from the Crest rolls, they make their moves. Players alternate turns rolling dice until the player's Dungeon Master loses all of its hard points. What makes the game a true challenge is that the monster cannot move except along the dungeon path, which is created when a monster is summoned. So careful placement of the pathway can mean an easy path behind opposing lines, but sloppy dimensioning would spell defeat for a player. And then we're going to talk about some of the other stuff. So then there's monsters in the Dungeon Dice Monsters. The monsters in Dungeon Dice Monsters have 3 main attack stats: attack, defense, and health. Health is sometimes referred as hit points. The attack and defense are in multiples of 10. All monsters have at least 10 health points that remain on the board. When a monster loses all of its health points, it is destroyed. Damage dealt to health points is determined by attacking and defending. See attack precedent and defense precedent for more details. Some monsters are tunnelers, meaning that they can move past other monsters. Normally, monsters cannot move over each other, and there's also flyers who can not only move over other monsters, but they can only be attacked by other flies or by monster special abilities, saying they can attack flyers. We're kind of getting a magic vibe to us a little bit. Also, there are many monsters with special abilities, although they require trap or magic crest to use. See chap crest. Okay. Now we're going to go into crests. So crests are basically how the dice are going to look. Crests are sort of currency in the game. They can be obtained through dice rolls and saved into your crest pool. There's 6 different types of crests: summon, movement, attack, defense, magic, and trap crest. All of them each have a specific purpose in the game. So summon crests are the only type of crests that can be found on every die. Like in a regular game, each die has a level that corresponds to its monster or item's power. The levels go from 1 to 4, and 4 being the most powerful. As a result, the number of summoned crests on the die decrease for each level. Level 1 dice have 4 summoned crests, level 2 will have 3, level 3 would have 2, and level 4 would have only 1 on their dice. To successfully summon or dimension, as they call it in the game, a player must roll at least 2 summoned crests of the same level. The player is allowed no more than 10 dimensions per game. So yeah, you guys are definitely getting a vibe from this, because this is pretty much all the rules that they announced in the anime, but this is in the video game format. We also have movement crest. When a dimension is performed, a dice folds out to one of 10 shapes, and this becomes the path. Monsters can only move along these paths. For each space they move, a movement crest is required. Flying monsters require 2 movement crests for each space they move. Attack crest: if a monster is within range of the opponent's monster and they are unable to attack them, if a monster is within range of an opponent's monster, they are able to attack them. However, each attack requires 1 attack crest. If there is none, no attack can be executed. A monster can only attack once per turn. Defense crest: when a monster attacks another monster, the attacking monster power is dealt to the opponent's monster's health. Each monster has a certain number of hit points dictated by its quantity of hearts. Each heart is a 10 hit point. When all the hearts are broken, the monster is destroyed. The amount of damage can be reduced, however, utilizing defense crest. When a monster is attacked, if its controller has any defense crest, they can make a monster guard against attacker. In this case, the defense power of the monster that its attack is subtracted by the attacking monster's attack powers. Magic crest, not usually a visual part of the game. Certain monsters have special abilities that can activate sacrifice your magic chest. Example: Thunderball. Okay, so that's kind of interesting with the magic and trap one. Yeah, magic and trap have the same thing. You only can activate them if when they're attacked by sacrifice trap crest. Interesting. So yeah, that's kind of like an idea of how Duel Links could do a Dungeon Dice Monsters event, and simply by kind of like porting over the Game Boy Advance rules, or just the anime rules in general. And I feel like they could definitely do it in a fresh pace too. I don't know, guys, but that's going to be kind of it for today's video. This was definitely an interesting video to record and all that stuff, but I mean, even though we only got a snippet of Duke Devlin being added into the game, it was a lot of fun to research and kind of just like hypothesize on what we could get for his event or whatever. I hope we get a really cool event for Duke Devlin, but I'm sad to think that it's most likely just going to be any other traditional event, but who knows? It would be super cool to have a Dungeon Dice Monsters event specifically for Duke Devlin, so I would definitely give it a fresh face and a new way to play Duel Links for all the fans. But that's going to do it for me. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to go hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. If you guys want to, you guys can join my Discord. Link in the description down below, and I think it's going to do it for me. Thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll go see you guys in the next one. Peace out.